You love this music couple the last time that we had them on here, married for well over 50 years and singing together longer than that. Up next, they tell us the story of several of their hits, including their #1 song where life imitated art. Or is it the other way around? It's coming up next on Professor of Rock. Hey music junkies, Professor of Rock, always here to celebrate the greatest artists and the greatest songs of all time. Be the first to know when our new interviews come out. We have a lot of good ones coming out in 22. Subscribe below right now. Click the bell so that you know when they drop. Also, be sure to look us up on Patreon. A lot of great content there, and you can become an honorary producer. Take a look at our new Vintage Years shirts as well. That honors some amazing years and artists in music. So it's time for another episode of our series, Revelations. This is where artists and bands give us some fantastic insight into their greatest songs and their greatest albums. And today we have legendary music couple Marilyn McCoo and Billy Davis Jr. They were in the Fifth Dimension together. And they got married in 1969 after storming the charts for years with such hits as Aquarius, Let the Sun Shine In.
This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius.
There's also Up, Up and Away.
Up and away, my beautiful.
And today's #1 hit, Wedding Bell Blues. This song was composed by legendary songwriter Laura Nyro, who as a solo artist had a 3-octave mezzo-soprano vocal range. She passed away some years ago. Her songs were so renowned. They were recorded by everybody from Barbra Streisand to Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
And when I'm gone, there'll be one child.
Three Dog Night. Peter, Paul, and Mary.
And when I die.
So many others. She was idolized by so many icons, including Elton John. The Fifth Dimension recorded several of Laura's songs, great versions, and made them huge hits, including the aforementioned Wedding Bell Blues that went to #1, as I said. There's also Stone Cold Picnic, which went to #3. And Blowing Away, that went to #21. Coming up, Marilyn and Billy tell us the story of first meeting Laura Nyro and the story of recording these classic songs, including Wedding Bell Blues. It's a song that's near to their hearts. Laura wrote the lyrics from the perspective of a woman whose boyfriend has not yet proposed to her and who kind of wonders, am I ever going to see my wedding day? The song carries brilliant dual themes of, adoring love and frustrated lament. At the very moment that Billy and Marilyn recorded this song, they were in kind of the same situation. It was art imitating life for sure. Now, before we go into this interview, I do want to thank our sponsor, Zenni Eyewear, the glasses that I wear every single day. Make sure to go to Zenni.com after this video to design best pair of frames that you're ever going to wear. If you're in the need for glasses, for sure, you choose the color, the shape, the size, and you pick out features like blue blocks that protect your eyes from digital blue light. It's going to be a game changer for you for sure. Here's Marilyn and Billy. I want to ask you about Magic Garden. It's a great concept album. And 68, of course, Stone Soul Picnic. You started working with one of the greatest writers out there. Tell me about that, about Laura Nyro. And as I understand it, you guys never met her. You waved out of a hotel. I read some story.
We met her.
Okay, tell me
we
that
did meet
story.
her, but when we met her before we started doing her music.
Her music, yeah. We're working at a club in
San Francisco.
In San Francisco called Bimbo's. In fact, Bimbo's are still there. And this was years ago, and so we were staying. The 3 guys were staying at this called the Hyde Park
Apartments.
And so we in there talking, and we hear all this singing. These girls, they're singing. And we could tell it's a group, and we said, "Well, who is that?" So I go out on the balcony and I lean over because they're right below us. I said, "Hey, y'all want to cut all that racket out down there?" The girl came out. Who are you talking to? That's when we met her.
Wow.
But that was
Yeah.
that was the end of that meeting.
Yeah. That
was
you know?
it?
Yeah.
Little did we know we were going to be doing, we were going to have these hit records with this young lady.
Yeah.
We never even thought about it because we didn't, actually, I didn't even know who she was.
Yeah.
You know?
What we used to do was we used to have these listening sessions to pick the music, that we were going to go in and record. Bones, of course, our producer then, said, I want you to hear this song. We never had anybody in our listening sessions unless it was Mark, our manager, or Bob Alcivar, who did a lot of our vocal arranging.
Yeah.
But on this particular day, there was a guy there who had brought the song in. His name was David Geffen. Now, nobody knew David Geffen.
No.
We didn't know David Geffen. David Geffen had not become David Geffen yet.
Right?
But he had heard Laura Nyro, and he believed in her music. And he decided he was going to help sell this music. And so he brought Stone Soul Picnic to the listening session for us to hear.
Huge hit too. Number
Yes.
3 pop and
And
number 2 on
legit-
the R&B charts. as
Yes,
well.
well, when we heard this song, it was like, the other things that we had been doing were pop.
Well, all
Yeah.
pop things.
And so that was fine because they were selling records. But we wanted an R&B hit, you know?
I mean,
And-
first of all, we wanted something with some soul in it because we black. Hey, we got to put some soul out there sometime. I said, because our folks don't even know that we can do soul.
they don't even know who we are.
Yeah, right. When we heard Stone Soul Picnic, it was like,
We said, this is going to be our R&B hit.
That's the one.
This is gonna cross over from pop to R&B because
And it
usually
did.
R&B pop will cross over from R&B to pop. So I was crossed the opposite way, and it did. It was it ended up being a big record.
And a young engineer that worked on that record and the single, Phil Ramone.
That's right. That's
Oh
right.
my
I
gosh,
forgot.
Produced
that's
Billy
right.
Joel, right?
Yeah, of course. Of
All those
course.
great records.
You bringing back memories,
Yes,
love?
indeed. Oh, my God.
Wedding Bell Blues. What a great song. And number 1 for 3 weeks. And
Yeah.
pop charts, AC charts. It was number 1 in Canada
Yeah.
on the Cashbox chart. It was such a massive song.
It was so funny because Wedding Bell Blues had come out already in California. It was a Laura version, her, singing her own song about a bill in her life. So Bones brought the song to me because by this time, Billy and I were going together. As a matter of fact, by the time the record came out, we were married. And so Bones said, I was thinking it would be a fun thing for you to sing Marry Me Bill or Wedding Bell Blues for the album. And I said, well, Bones, hasn't it already been a hit? Laura had it out and it's a hit.
Yeah.
He said, no, it was a hit in California. He said, but they don't know about the song across the country. So I said, sure, why not?
Yeah.
It was going to be fun. I went in and recorded it. And I just thought it was going to be an album cut. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it was our 4th single off of that album. And had no idea it was going to have the impact that it did. How many people have said, I married my Bill?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Yes, right. But the arrangement.
Yes, the arrangement was
The
wonderful.
arrangement was so hip. Great song.
Yeah.
Great song.
What I loved is when you do TV gigs in like 1969, around
Yeah.
that time,
Uh-huh.
you'd be singing parts explicitly to him.
Right.
Because it was so great.
It was the first time, and what we understand was the only time that Ed Sullivan actually stopped tape because, Ed Sullivan was always live.
A most enormous amount of pleasure with their wonderful music.
And for this particular performance, they pre-taped. Then Billy would be sneaking out of the door when
Yeah.
I'm singing "Marry Me, Bill," and I was dressed up in a wedding gown, and Billy would sneak out and open the door, and they had stopped the tape so that when he opened the door, I was there singing singing the song to him. people got a lot of
Oh, yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, especially being a song about frustrated that am I ever going to see my wedding day? But it was like that dual theme of adoring love, but then also like frustrated lament, right?
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Bones Howe, tell me about what you remember most about recording with him that stands out, that made him so amazing.
Well, for one thing, his ear. He could hear a hit. He could smell a hit. One of my memories about Bones is when it's before we came out with 16 tracks and 32 tracks
right,
and 64
right.
And
tracks.
now, any amount of tracks you want.
He was an amazing engineer
No
before he
end.
became an amazing producer.
Oh, yeah.
And one of my pictures of him is when he used to take a razor and he would cut,
Splice the
he would
tape.
splice the tape so that he could put together vocal performances. You know, like now you can just punch in the, okay, well, we'll start back here and punch in the performance. But back during that time, he had to splice them in. And he would be standing over the recorder with the tape wrapped around his neck, with the razor in his hand. And I would say, what is he doing? And then he would move the tape back and forth until he could hear the clean moment. And it was amazing how he would put those songs together like that.
Wow.
Performances that, that you might need to do of so many takes to it to get it clean and get it right. When they didn't have that capability, he did it with a razor.
Gosh.
Yeah, he could take out a whole chorus if you just take it out and to connect the next one up to it. But if there was some bad lines or something in that chorus, we couldn't use it. You had to get rid of it. So that's what he would do. And he'd splice it and put it back together like it never happened,
Well, Blowing Away, another great song, Laura Nyro.
Yes.
What do you remember about that one?
I enjoyed singing that song. That was a fun song to sing. I loved the way that Bob Alcivar arrangement of how we blowing away, blowing away, blowing away. Of Laura's songs were so much fun to sing because there were so many clever ways of doing them.
Nuances.
Yes.
Yeah.
And her lyrics, you old fire, I'm mad with desire. You're my favorite one.
She write like an old soul.
She
had an old soul, but her stuff would be hip during that time,
50 years of marriage. You've been this great example, one of the greatest love stories of the pop era. It's so beautiful and just amazing. And career that you've been able to have together, not only the Fifth Dimension, but after to be able to have your show together and to have those great duets and just incredible and a great example to people out there. When did you know that she was the one and vice versa? Tell us that story.
Well, I didn't really know that she was the one at first, but then that she kept messing with me. And I said, now this girl is going to keep messing around until I'm gonna have to just start talking to her. But to tell you the truth, Marilyn and me, we were great friends. That's how it all started. I mean, great friends. I mean, she picked me up for rehearsal because I didn't have no car. She had a car. And so she would take me and we would just sit in the car and laugh and talk, and we'd go to parties and the two of us would sit on the couch. Everybody's dancing. We sit down on the couch laughing and talking to each other.
Talking about life.
Talking about life and our dreams and, all of this. And that's how it all started. And so when the love bug hit, it was like, wait a minute. We don't want to do this. It's going to mess up our friendship. We got a great friendship. We don't want to mess that up. And sure enough, it happened, and it didn't mess up the friendship. In fact, we got closer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you? When did you know that he was the one?
Well, as we were going back and forth to rehearsal and at the parties when we would talk so much. And we'd talk about life. We'd talk about our approach to life, how we felt we should treat people, and just talking about what was on our hearts. And the more he talked, the more I thought, this guy's different. Because most of the guys that I had met, they were, forget it. But I thought, this guy is really different. I mean, he's got a beautiful heart, you know. And he used to come around my family, and you know, for Thanksgiving and Christmas, because his family, most of his family at that time was in St. Louis. Mm-hmm. And he wouldn't come over just to appease me and stay for a little while, and then, well, I've got to run here or go there, like so often what might happen. He would just sit around and laugh and talk and enjoy my family, and it seemed sincere.
Yeah.
So he either had a great act going, or, I mean, it was just in getting to know him and getting to know his heart that I began to slowly realize that this guy was right.
The real deal.
Yeah, that he was the real deal. Yes. Yeah.
What's been the key to your marriage? Do you think friendship?
Friendship, definitely so. Because I mean, we still laugh and talk together. We don't need no people. No, we really don't. We can be in a restaurant. It's just the two of us, and we're having a ball, and we forget that the people are there. You know, after all these years, and that's a great thing. You know.
And also, we share our faith together too.
Yeah.
You know, we always like to just tell people that our faith has brought us together and keeps us very strong.
Well, and you can feel the gratitude that you guys have, and that's so important. Let me ask you two last questions. The one is, what wisdom would you pass on to people coming into either the music industry or just following their dreams in general, with all the people that you've met, all the experiences that you've had? What piece of wisdom would you say that you've learned that you would pass on?
Well, one thing I've noticed about articles that I read about the younger artists coming along is that you have to be true to yourself. And a lot of these young artists are true to themselves.
Today.
And it's exciting to watch and see what's going to happen to them, and to see what does happen to them and for them. As long as you're doing something that you really love and that you're really committed to and is important to you, then that's what you need to do, you know, because it'll make you'll be happy, it'll be fulfilling, and it'll give you an opportunity to enjoy your life. And also just to try to give other people the space to be who they are too, you know.
Yeah, thank you for
another
sharing.
thing you can tell them to be one of the things that I think that they should be is dedicated to the business of what they're trying to get into, because so many artists get in the business, they see the fame and the fortune and I can do this, and they make an overnight success, and they forget that they have the rest of this life to go. And a lot of them, it destroys a lot of them because they can't stay there, you know? Yes. And so they fall off and they go start doing crazy things. But if you're dedicated to it, you will do what it takes to stay there. Learn your craft, rehearse. I mean, you would definitely do what it takes to stay there. Yeah. So I would say be dedicated to the business. Yeah. Right.
And one more thing, I'd like to say that not everybody's going to be a star, but if you're doing what you love, you'll be happy doing it. Yeah. Like if you love singing, you don't have to become the next Beyonce, you know, or whoever. You can just go for it and do the best that you can do, and find places where you can sing.
Right.
You know,
enjoy the trip.
And enjoy the
Yeah.
That's something I wish I could go back and tell my young self, is that you got time. Just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Enjoy the moment.
Exactly
Don't
right.
be worrying about what's next.
Right.
Well, last question is, looking back on your life, both your personal life and your career, what are you most grateful for in this moment right now?
Well,
my health.
Want me to be truthful?
Yeah.
My wife.
Yes. I'm so thankful that we have our health, and that we ended up with, you know, I feel like I've been really blessed with a wonderful partner in my life.
Both of us have, you know, and we realize that, and we that's why we don't let nobody in.
Yeah.
And that's not true.
I know, I'm kidding. I
mean,
can't.
that's not even true about you. You'll give people the wrong impression.
Listen, I can't help myself. I'm crazy. Pray for me.
Well, you know, Marilyn and Billy, it's been such an honor to sit down with you, and really thank you so much for the music, the life-changing music that again will be passed on from generation to generation. When you perform and create great music, life-changing music, it's such a gift to the world.
And thank you for what you're doing.
Oh, thank you.
With this program, you continue to highlight the accomplishments of people from years, and some of the things that you've said today. You've told us things that have happened.
Yeah, right.
You know, to us that we're not even aware of. and thank you so much for that. That's just beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
But thank you for the acknowledgement of the art itself. Yeah.
One thing I'd like to say before we leave, we're not done yet. You know, so
that's right.
Look for us out there. Yeah.
There's so many great things that you're doing right now and that you will do. So, well, thank you so much,
guys.
Our pleasure.
Leave us a comment about Billy Davis Jr. and Marilyn McCoo. Always a pleasure to sit down with them. Every 80s kid remembers Marilyn from Solid Gold, am I right?
We'd like to thank all the stars who made this such an exciting hour of music tonight.
What an elegant and entertaining couple. Tell us your memories of these songs below and let us know in the comments what other interviews you'd like to see on here. If you like this content, we do invite you to subscribe. We'd love to have you as part of our community. Click the bell so you never miss out. And make sure to check out our new interviews that are coming out every single day. Until next time, 3 chords and the truth, my friends. I'll talk to you soon.